Have you ever stopped to wonder why you work so hard, run after a paycheck every single month, pay bills, pay interest, pay credit cards, and yet still feel like your financial life never moves forward? How many times have you dreamed of financial freedom, only to end up drowning in debt, maxed out credit cards, and that endless treadmill of working just to survive? Now let me ask you something. Would you be willing to pay the same price Elon Musk paid to become one of the richest men on the planet? Because what almost nobody talks about is the insane cost behind that journey. Today, you're going to discover in detail the 10 sacrifices Elon Musk made to get rich. But in this first block, we'll dive into the first 5. And I guarantee each one carries financial lessons so powerful they could flip your money mindset upside down. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to hear isn't empty motivational talk. It's the raw, unfiltered truth about the real price of wealth. The first sacrifice was giving up financial security, the very thing everyone is taught to chase. Work hard, save a little, stash it in a savings account, stick to safe investments, avoid risks. That's the script most Americans live by. But Musk did the opposite. When he sold his early companies and had millions in hand, instead of locking it away in safe assets, he poured nearly all of it into ventures that looked crazy at the time. This reveals a brutal contrast. While the majority cling to the idea of better safe than sorry, billionaires know exponential growth is hidden inside risk. And here's the mistake that keeps millions stuck: thinking a savings account or ultra-conservative fund guarantees a future. It guarantees survival, not prosperity. If you want to grow real wealth, you have to put part of your capital into assets with the power to multiply. And if Musk was willing to sacrifice financial security itself, imagine what else he'd be ready to give up in the pursuit of wealth. The second sacrifice was time. While many dream of working less and enjoying life more, Musk went in the opposite direction: 100-hour work weeks, sleeping on factory floors, grabbing meals between meetings, reviewing technical details in the middle of the night. He turned every single minute into a building block for his empire. Here's the metaphor. Time is like invisible currency. You can waste it on distractions or invest it into something that grows. Most people fail here. They waste hours on entertainment, binge scrolling, and consumer habits, but rarely dedicate time to learning about money, organizing expenses, or building new income streams. Musk used time as a form of capital and built an empire. But that extreme investment came at a brutal cost in another area most people think is untouchable. And that area was his personal life. The third sacrifice was stepping away from stable relationships, family balance, and irreplaceable moments. This choice may seem cold, but it carries a powerful lesson. You can't have everything at once. The common mistake is wanting to spend like the rich while still hoping to build wealth. That's impossible. Every dollar you consume today is one less invested for tomorrow. Musk, at the extreme, showed that priorities must be chosen, even if that means giving up short-term pleasures. And here's the provocation. What are you prioritizing? Planting seeds of wealth or spending on things that vanish in minutes? That reflection sets the stage for another sacrifice, even more radical, one that cut directly into his physical health. The fourth sacrifice was sleep. While the world preached balance and rest, Musk slashed his nights to keep projects alive. He slept just a few hours, often on office couches or factory floors, and was back to handling billion-dollar problems almost immediately. It cost him dearly in health, but it kept his companies alive when they were on the brink of collapse. The financial parallel is obvious. How many people let their money sleep in low-yield accounts, thinking it's safe? That's financial sleep, the inertia that prevents growth. Musk sacrificed rest because he understood every hour mattered. And you? How many opportunities have you lost because of comfort or procrastination? If sacrificing sleep was tough, wait until you see what he had to endure from public opinion. The fifth sacrifice was reputation. Musk was ridiculed, called crazy, irresponsible, even a fraud. Every mistake, every failure, every delay in his projects was magnified as proof that he was doomed. But he kept going. Here's a golden lesson. If you can't handle pressure, you'll abandon the game before the rewards ever show up. In personal finance, this happens when someone invests a little, sees the market dip, and panic sells, losing both money and confidence. A real investor knows criticism, downturns, and doubt are part of the process. Musk was mocked long before he was celebrated. And could you handle being called insane today in order to harvest results tomorrow that only a few will ever dare to reach? So far, you've seen Musk sacrifice financial security, time, family, sleep, and reputation just to reach the top. But those were only the first steps on an even harsher ladder, because what comes next isn't just giving up comfort, it's facing the abyss, shattered mental health, the real risk of losing everything, invisible enemies, and the surrender of living a normal life. If these first 5 sacrifices already seemed extreme, brace yourself. The second block will expose the darkest part of this journey, and inside it are the most shocking financial lessons you've ever heard. If the first 5 sacrifices Elon Musk made already seemed extreme, you need to know those were just the foundation of something far more brutal. Because there comes a point where money, time, and reputation are no longer the highest prices to pay. The next level demands something most people would never accept: giving up mental stability, risking it all in one move, and fighting invisible enemies powerful enough to crush anyone else. And it's right here that the financial lessons become even sharper, because they show how discipline, resilience, and long-term vision sustain the path to wealth in the middle of absolute chaos. What you're about to hear isn't light motivation. It's the raw truth that extraordinary prosperity always comes with extraordinary sacrifices. The sixth sacrifice was mental health. Musk lived years under unbearable pressure, openly admitting he felt broken inside. Stress breakdowns, sleepless nights, moments when he believed it was all over. This is a part of money people almost never talk about. Personal finance isn't just math, it's also emotions. Millions of Americans abandon investments at the first downturn, sell at a loss because they can't handle short-term pain, and sabotage their long-term wealth. Musk proved that emotional endurance is just as important as financial endurance. If your mind collapses, your money collapses with it. And if giving up mental balance sounds extreme, wait until you hear what he did next. A move so risky, it could have erased everything in one shot. The seventh sacrifice was risking total bankruptcy. In 2008, Musk only had enough cash left to save one company, Tesla or SpaceX. Anyone reasonable would have chosen the most promising and shut the other down. He didn't. He split what little he had between both, knowing he could lose everything at once. He even had to borrow money for basic living expenses. It was financial suicide, but it worked. SpaceX secured a vital NASA contract, and Tesla began to rise. The lesson here is brutal. Great fortunes are rarely built in calm waters. They're built in crises, when the majority panic and run. While most people in America play it safe and avoid investing during downturns, the ones who see opportunity in chaos are the ones who multiply wealth. Musk almost lost it all, but he also proved that extraordinary results come only from extraordinary risks. Would you have the guts to do the same? The eighth sacrifice was battling invisible enemies. Musk wasn't just fighting cash shortages or bad press. He was up against billion-dollar industries that didn't want him to win. Oil giants, traditional automakers, even political forces viewed Tesla as a direct threat. SpaceX rattled industries that had been untouched for decades. And here's the metaphor for your finances. When you decide to get out of debt, start saving, and truly invest, You'll face invisible resistance too. Family telling you it's too risky, friends laughing at you, co-workers doubting your choices. It's like swimming upstream, only the strongest keep moving. Success always attracts enemies, whether they're corporate, social, or internal. The question is, will you keep going even when the current is against you? The ninth sacrifice was putting his public image on the line. Impulsive tweets, bold statements, risky decisions. They wiped billions off Tesla's market value. Musk was fined, sued, investigated. Any other billionaire would have gone silent to protect their reputation. He didn't. He chose authenticity, even at a massive cost. And here's the financial takeaway. Your personal brand is just as valuable as your bank account. You can make money today, but if you lose trust, you lose tomorrow's opportunities. Musk bet on being real, even if the price was steep in the short term, because he knew authenticity pays dividends in the long run. And here's the challenge for you. Do you hide in fear, or do you stand by your decisions and build a reputation that outlasts your balance sheet? The 10th sacrifice was giving up normality. Musk will never live a regular life. No peace, no simple routine, no anonymity. He accepted isolation, being misunderstood, even hated, all for something bigger than himself. And this is perhaps the hardest lesson of all. You cannot achieve extraordinary results while living an ordinary life. Most people want wealth without giving up consumerism, comfort, or short-term gratification. That's impossible. To create a life outside the average, you have to accept living outside the average. So here's the real question. Do you just want to look rich while staying stuck, or are you willing to live differently to achieve what few ever will? These last 5 sacrifices, mental health, risking total collapse, invisible enemies, reputation, and normality, complete the brutal picture of wealth. Elon Musk didn't get to the top by luck. He got there by paying prices almost no one else would. And here's the message for you. You don't need to destroy yourself like Musk, but you do need to understand that every level of financial growth requires letting go. You must sacrifice consumerism, impatience, and lack of planning, and replace them with discipline, long-term vision, and consistent investing. Every dollar you waste on instant pleasure is freedom stolen from your future.